Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Talking and goes in. Talking and all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
This one's got me. Boy, I'll tell you what. Now, apparently, Mr. Pitts, I guess he's maybe on the trading block here. I mean, you know, he kind of thought like especially when he got drafted by the Falcons. Actually, it's gonna be. I tell you what, it's just time just flying by. He's hard. It's hard. I thought he only played 3 seasons, but it's his 4th season he played already. So this will only be his 5th season. But possibly he might be on the trading block. I mean, the Giants could certainly use another weapon without question. I certainly don't want to say that, Theo Johnson is not going to be a weapon. I certainly don't want to say that, but the Giants really could. I mean, because if you look at Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Malik Neighbors, and Theo Johnson, it's like, okay, they're nice. I mean, we got Malik. We got the dog. I'm saying, but if you look at Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Theo Johnson, it's like, okay, it's all right. Not bad, but if we can get somebody else in there too, that would be very nice. Now, Pitts' first season, the only thing, look back at his stats again, I think I remember he only caught 1 touchdown pass. He has 10 in his 4 years. That's still, when you draft a guy that high, I mean, but he had 68 catches his first season as a rookie, and he had over 1,000 yards. But since then, he hasn't really missed much time, but his production has really fallen off. I mean, let's see where we at here. Where's Mr. Pitts at here? All right, where are we at here? The 2021 draft. And when you're taking number 4 overall, I mean, his second season in 2022, he only played in 10 games. I think he had a knee issue, I think it was. Let me see. Where are we at here? 2022. He was on injured list. A knee. Yeah, MCL. Yeah, so he missed 7 games his second season. But his first season, played in all 17 games. His third and fourth season, he played in all 17 games. So he only missed. So he's relatively healthy. He has been relatively healthy. He just missed 7 games in his second season. Other than that, he has not missed a game. So at 17, 34, so out of 68 possible games, he's played in 61. So he's been pretty good. As I said, it was just that 1 season where he missed some time. But, I mean, like last season, he had 47 catches. He played 17 games. He was the number 4 overall pick. And he's averaging 17. He didn't even average 3 catches a game last season. I mean, the year before that, 2023, he played in 17 games. He had 53 receptions. So that's just about 3 catches a game. I mean, 2022, when he only played in 10 games, he caught 28 balls. So he averaged 2.8 receptions. I mean, so basically the last 3 years, he's averaging like 3 catches. I mean, it's just, you take him number 4 overall. I mean, you're not drafting this guy to catch 3 balls a game. I mean, that's really, really bad. But the one thing is here, okay, they picked up his 5th-year option, right, which is $10.878 million, almost $10.9 million, which is his 5th-year option. Okay. So his whole rookie deal is over except for his 5th-year option. So now apparently, he might be on the trading block. So Kyle picked landing spots. The Cowboys, the Giants, among potential 2025 fits, with Falcons reportedly open to trading the tight end. Where could the former Pro Bowler end up? Now, former Pro Bowler, that was just his first season. Because I do not think he made the Pro Bowl. No, that was just his first season. Yeah. So where might he wind up at? Well, Kyle Pitts' saga took another turn on Friday, with the Falcons reportedly making the big-name tight end available via trade, just 4 years after spending the number 4 overall draft pick on the Florida Star. He's 6'6". It's almost like 250 pounds. Perfect size. Whew. The Falcons prefer to keep the veteran, but are apparently willing to listen to offers, requiring at least a day 2 draft pick in the potential deal. Multiple teams have already contacted the Falcons with interest, Schulz reported, after Pitts failed to report to the start of Atlanta's voluntary organized team activities, along with quarterback Kirk Cousins, who is another trade candidate. Pitts, he's only 24, has endured a somewhat tumultuous start to his NFL career. Heralded as a future face of the tight end position coming out of college, he had an instant impact as a rookie, logging 68 catches for 1,068 yards as Matt Ryan's top target in 2021. He became much more of a secondary option in the pass-catching group starting the following year, however, leading to speculations about his fit under the Falcons coaches. Where might Pitts be headed? If he doesn't suit up for the Falcons in 2025, here are 3 potential landing spots for the veteran who's set to enter the final year of his rookie contract. So that's another thing that they're going to have to keep in, really going to have to keep in mind. Because if you do go out and trade for this guy, right, you're going to have to re-sign him. I mean, it was like the same thing, the Leonard Williams saga. We went out in the middle of the season and traded for Leonard Williams to bring him in. It's like, dude, you just traded some draft capital for this guy. You better re-sign him. Yeah. All right. So we're going to go out and bring in Kyle Pitts in here. Right. My good boy. You better have an inkling of re-signing him, next season. So, but apparently they got 3 teams here. One would be the Cowboys. Now, but the Cowboys do have Jake Ferguson, who is a very good tight end. Right. Apparently, the Cowboys still have $30 million to spare. As a bonus, Micah Parsons' brother suggested this deal for the Cowboys not long ago. Huh. So, I mean, this wouldn't, if the Cowboys have some money to spend, it may not be bad. It would certainly help out. We've got Ferguson, right? They brought in, was it Pickens they brought in? Got ABCD Lamb, right? I mean, you bring in Pitt. I mean, that would give them a very nice, and Dak comes back. That would certainly help them out. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, because they got more money than the Giants do. The Giants only have about $4 or $5 million now. But the one nice thing about this is that, it's like, let's make a deal, right? It could wind up being, I'm just saying, the Falcons want by at least a day 2 pick back. So they want at least a second rounder, quite possibly more, maybe like a third rounder, for Pitts. But the thing is, what you can do, right, is, hey, let's make a deal. We'll give you, blah, blah, blah. We'll give you a third rounder, I don't know, whatever, and a 5th rounder, just saying, if you pay half of his salary this season, right? If we got to pay his whole salary, we'll just give you the 3rd rounder or whatever. So you can always make some kind of a deal. But what Pitts' salary is this season is more than what the Giants, as of right now, without we can structuring some contracts and all that. Right. So the Giants would have to do something if they were to trade for Pitts and absorb his whole contract for this season. But I said that, they're going to have to go out and especially if they give up like a 3rd round pick for this guy, you obviously you have to be signing a guy for next season, right? And then of course that's where that comes in at, what's he going to want, right? Because if he's going to want, I don't know, whatever, $15 million, just saying, and you're only thinking, well, this dude's only worth 10, we ain't paying him 15. Well, once he becomes a free agent, it only takes one team to blow him out of the water with money. And then, bye-bye, you just lost yourself a 3rd round pick, right? What you could do, obviously, you maybe bring him in and sign him to an extension or something like that right away so he never hits free agency. But They also talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, possibly. This one might be high on Pitts' wish list, given he has spent 3 years playing for the Gators, right, in Florida, just over an hour away from where the Jaguars take the field. Yes, Jacksonville spent big to add to Travis Hunter as a new weapon for Trevor Lawrence in the draft, but new general manager James Gladstone might still have an interest in replacing Evan Ingram, who was released in March. Pitt's positional versatility could give the Jaguars a new look big three, along with Brian Burns Jr., increasing Lawrence's odds of a turnaround. So, all right. Then they talk about the New York Giants. Are the Giants in a position to pay for immediate help? They might be short on salary cap space, but Pitts' appeal at only age 24. He's been only 24, 6'6". It's almost 250, right? 24 years old, relatively healthy, right? Is that he could also stick around for the long term too. But the thing, it's not like, the one nice thing about obviously he's drafting somebody like Pitts, right? Is that, or drafting somebody is that you're paying them, not a lot of money because they're on their rookie deal. But once now they're become veterans, hey, they want to get paid. I don't blame them. So to bring him in, it's going to automatically just start costing you some money. But they can always push some of that money a little bit down the road. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Giants' salary cap situation in just a few minutes here. But head coach Brian Daboll would surely be okay pairing the big man with Malik Neighbors, giving Russell Wilson an added safety valve for an offense sorely lacking secondary playmakers over the last few years, assuming this link up would extend beyond 2025. Pitt's arrival would also bode well for Jackson Dart, the presumptive quarterback of the future. That's true too. That's true too, right? I'm not exactly sure. You don't know what they're thinking about as far as what they're going to do with that. Theo Johnson, right, and all. But I mean, it's certainly something to think about, right? I would love. If they don't get themselves somebody this year, really, really need somebody next season, right? Whether it be in free agency or in the draft. Drafting maybe a wide receiver early, and obviously in day one or day two of the draft would be huge. Really get somebody. I love Darius. I love Wandale and all. Wandale had all those catches last season, which is great. The thing is, I don't even think he even averaged 8 yards of reception. Right? Darius Slayton last season, obviously, his numbers came down. Well, when you got like 300 targets going to Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson, there's not a lot of targets left to go around. So obviously, Darius Slayton's numbers took a dip last season, right? But as productive as Darius has been, for the most part, with a very poor offensive line, very poor quarterback play, horrible offense over all these years, Darius has been very, very steady, right? He's been very steady. But has he been somebody on the field that it's like, keeping the other defensive coordinator up at night? No. Giants really could use somebody like that. The problem is that, with the Pitts, or if we get somebody else maybe in free agency next season, the problem is that it's going to cost you some money, right? The Giants don't have a ton of money this season. We'll have a little bit of money next season, but we don't have a ton. 2 seasons. I'm going to talk about this very shortly. We have a lot of money. But if we can draft ourselves a playmaker in the draft next season, the first day or second day, man, that would be huge. Another playmaker to team up with Malik Neighbors. Somebody got Malik on one side, and you got somebody else on the other side, given that the defense got to worry about. Because the thing is, a lot of times, if Malik's over here, right? Well, you got maybe the cornerback, and you have a safety sliding over there, maybe over the top, right? Okay, but if you got somebody over here and you got somebody over there, so you have a cornerback, carrying them, and then you got safeties over the top of both those guys. Well, that kind of opens things up in the middle a little bit there, doesn't it? So the more weapons you're going to have, the better. I mean, that was one of the problems is that I hate keep freaking talking about it and all that and everything. But with Barkley, I mean, we had one of the best running backs in the league. At the time, he was our best offensive weapon, and you just let him go. And the thing is, you let him go, and I talked about this before, but you let him go, and it's not like he's a quarterback. It's not like he's an edge rusher. It's not like he's a wide receiver. I mean, these wide receivers now, going to want $35, $40 million. These edge rushers, $40 million. Quarterbacks, $50, $60 million. Right? He wanted like, what, $15 million? I mean, I guess I get it. That's a bit much for a running back, but yeah, we got there's wide receivers out there making, I know the Eagles bumped up Saquon's salary. Good for him. But I mean, at the time when they signed him last season, what they were paying Saquon, there was wide receivers out there making more than twice as much money as what Saquon. Right? And he was our biggest weapon. I mean, could you imagine, I'm not saying we were going to a Super Bowl or something, but I mean, could you at least imagine if we had Malik Neighbors and Saquon? All right, now we got two really good weapons. Can we add a third, right? I mean, when you have a real good weapon like Saquon, and you just let him go because you didn't want to pay him $14 million or whatever. I mean, as I said, if he was a wide receiver or something like that, and he wants $50 million, then you got to let him go because you can't afford it. Okay, well, he wanted $40 million. Well, okay, but I mean, man, 14, 15 million. Yeah, really? Your best offensive weapon.